Hey guys, I'm Dov, and today I'm back with some more Total War Warhammer 2 multiplayer action. We're here with Bretonnia once again. The Lord of the Chevalier is going to be leaving his 14 Hippogriff squad up against the Skaven. So let's get straight to it here. We've got a couple of trebuchets, a whole line of peasant mobs, and some men-at-arms. They've got some chevrons to give them decent stats. Also got some archers, a Damsel Lore of Life, of course, and yeah, the 2 units of Hippogriffs with the Lord and Henri. As for Dutch Skink's Skaven here, he's got some Gutter Runners Slingers with poison, good for some speed control. Clan Rats with shields here. He's got the Avalanche Mortars. We'll talk more about them in just a minute. Some Rat Ogres, and going to be led by Deathmaster Snitch himself. But yeah, we're going to be getting the getting those trebuchets opening up, dropping some rocks here, hot and ready on these Skaven. Not really too many great high value targets for us to shoot at. I could shoot at this mortar team right here, but honestly, I'm not really sure what Creative Assembly was thinking in the early access time period. I mean, the Avalanche Mortars were certainly very strong. They were very expensive, but I thought they were pretty cost balanced as to what they were before. But for whatever reason, in the live version, Creative Assembly decided to absolutely nerf them into the ground, to where I really don't think they're worth bringing whatsoever. You can see they do hardly any damage here, and because they don't apply that dot effect, it's really unimpactful, right? So as it stands right now, unfortunately, I think this unit, we can consider it unusably broken, in that you should pretty much never take it. The regular poison globes are going to be pretty much always better, but Dutch Skink didn't realize that. I think this was maybe his first game playing with the DLC stuff, so, you know, no harm done there. Yeah, we can see we pull up here, just unleashing some of these fire arrows and poison arrows. We're going to be shooting at those Rat Ogres, obviously. Just thinking about the wind conditions here, the Rat Ogres are going to be the biggest danger to my Hippogriff squads. So we're definitely going to need to try and take down them. Meanwhile, Dutch Skink realizing he needs to be pushing forward here. We're going to drop down and get right on top of those Avalanche Mortars. There are plenty of Hippogriff Knights here. Looks like some Storm Vermin Halberds, or sorry, Rat Ogres. Plenty of Rat Ogres on station. The Storm Vermin Halberds. Also the Gutter Runners with poison and Snare Nets as well. You can see the speed is going to be heavily debuffed for these Hippogriffs. But yeah, it's a brutal time to be a Skaven here. They are just getting ripped and torn to shreds. We're going to throw in some healing, it looks like here. Yeah, some effect going off there, going crazy from Snitch. Looks like he's going to get in here, get some damage in. The Hippogriffs are taking some damage. You see I've already had to expend 1 regrowth on the unit here, so not the best. Meanwhile, on the front line, Peasant Mobs just getting absolutely cut through by Clan Rats, as to be expected. Even my Archer is not really able to hold up for too long here. Armor of Darkness there on that Clan Rats. Maybe a little bit of a misplacement, but that's fine. You can see the Hippogriffs have taken quite a bit of damage in terms of HP, but still all 6 models here. This other unit still has all 6 models, so potentially some good opportunities left. And we have done a ton of damage to the... Yeah, that weapons team's just got deleted completely. And, you know, the Rat Ogres and the Gutter Runners as well have taken quite a bit of damage, but Men-at-Arms getting rushed on here. We've got the 2 trebuchets way in the back, continuing to provide that nice fire. We're going to be focusing on the Council Guard, of course. The Regiment of Renown, Storm Vermin, Unbreakable, going to be very tough for me to take down in the late game potentially, but this unit of Rat Ogres here gets a little bit isolated, so we're going to come down with the Lord. He kind of breaks up their advance here. You can see they're actually chasing some peasant mobs away, and then the Hippogriffs are going to come in. Although, obviously, they're more meant as armor-piercing units, that just heavy shock damage and terror will be a lot for these Rat Ogres to try and deal with. They can punch back, but you see here we're getting some good damage in. Meanwhile, the Skaven slowly but surely pushing their way back towards those artillery pieces, trying to break up the center pocket. We come in, drop down on these Storm Vermin here. Henri comes in to try and do some damage to Snitch, but Snitch, obviously, a very scary combatant, going to be able to do some good damage in return as he kind of gets tumbled over there. Oh, man. The trebuchets are doing great work as well against these Storm Vermin, both the Council Guard and the regular ones. We have managed to keep the Archers relatively safe also, so that's nice, having them continue to fire here. But things are decently close. I mean, the balance power is slightly in my favor at this point, but there's still a lot of Skaven units left all across the field. These Gutter Runners here, I don't really have the resources to allocate to try and take them down at the moment. And, yeah... just keeping these Hippogriff Knights, obviously, cycle charging as much as I can. It's going to be very important. One of them already got an XP Chevron. Looks like the other one not quite yet. But here comes a nice drop, maybe. They're thinking about it. Yep, here we go. Dropping right on top of those Storm Vermin and the Council Guard, just trying to directly clean up the threats against us. Oh man, those brutal trebuchet shots as well. Snitch gonna go ahead and unleash his Whirlwind. Won't do that much damage to the Hippogriff Knights, but you can see there, we are starting to lose out a little bit. The Council Guard fighting tooth and nail. Still haven't lost any unit models though on that unit. And same thing over here, so we can get the full efficiency from that healing. You can see the useless purple Kool-Aid balls being shot in here. Grape drink, unfortunately not going to do a whole lot, but the Gun Runners and Slingers, they're actually holding out for a decently long time here. Storm Vermin cleaning up infantry. You can see all of my peasants have pretty much been dealt with. These clan rats are still trying to get back here to get on those trebuchets, though. We've been able to use up just about all of our ammunition. I love field trebuchets in a couple of specific matchups just to kind of surprise your opponent. You know, most people don't think of Bretonnia as an artillery faction, but especially against elite halberds, which can be the bane of Bretonnia sometimes, those trebuchets are an excellent pick. And another quick drop right on top of these Storm Vermin here. Looks like they're going to get probably Armor of Darkness. Give them a little bit more armor, but obviously won't help a whole lot in this situation. That Brittle Bone would have been really nice to have from the Lore of Stealth here. I don't believe he actually had that debuff, but casting that debuff on these Hippogriff Knights would basically put their melee defense down to 0, so you could get consistent hits, even with stuff like Clan Rats against them. But as it is right now, just barely dropped a single model there on those Royal Hippogriff Knights with the Lord still fighting. Henri and his squad still completely healthy. They're going to swing up and around here. Maybe drop right on this Rat Ogre that's trying to rally here. And oh man, those Rat Ogres just getting straight up tossed by the Hippogriffs there. You don't see that every day. And it's going to be brutal stuff. Snitch sneaking on the ground here. Looks like he's going to use his stuff to go after the Lord. And despite how low he is, I mean, he can still... Maybe. I thought he was in here. It's just... Oh no, there he is. Snitch is still a scary enough combatant that I can't just, you know, leave my guys in here in combat alone. Definitely going to need to get a nice multi-charge here. And Snitch having a bad day. Ooh, that nice little shuriken throw, that little magic missile there from the Eshin Sorcerer. And you can see, despite the fact that Snitch is taking a ton of damage, he is doing a lot of damage in return to this Bretonnian Lord. You can see how quickly he snipes somebody out like that. So, a dangerous situation potentially for me, but thankfully Snitch gets terrified. And that's pretty much going to be game if we have an overarching look here. Really, it's just the Council Guard left. 2 Hippogriffs here, so that unit did end up getting taken out there in the very late game. This other unit here is still very healthy. 6 unit models, 2 XP chevrons. And, yeah, Snitch and the Bretonnian Lord. And Henri having a grand old time, the 3 of them. Looks like we're going to release Snitch of his duties to die there. Just try and come finish off these last few units. Dutch Skink trying desperately to pull his units back together here. Still never managed to shut down either of those 2 trebuchets, which is obviously a huge key in this situation. Well, a nice little magic missile there from the Eshin Sorcerer, but not really too much more to get through, so we'll fast forward a little bit more through this late game as we clean up these Rat Ogres, the Sorcerer, the last few Clan Rats as well. Snitch comes back, but watching his Sorcerer buddy get pummeled like this, probably not going to want to stick around, so he decides to run for the hills, and that's it. So very well played to Dutch Skink. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching that one. I know this mass Hippogriff build can be pretty frustrating to play against, so credit to Dutch Skink, you know, staying calm on the advance there. Ended up doing pretty well with his Rat Ogres, staying in a position to kind of countercharge there. You can see the one unit did manage to get a couple of XP chevrons, and I mean, obviously in the late game there, he was able to finish off the one unit of Hippogriff Knights. I just kind of had done a little bit too much damage to his army by that point. I already talked about, unfortunately, the Death Globe mortars. Completely useless right now. I definitely recommend against taking them. If he had taken the Poison Winds instead, that might have worked out a little bit better. But still tough to say. You know, in a build like this, I would say you want something with terror. Against Bretonnia, against Bretonnian peasants especially, you almost always want something with terror. But, I mean, a Doom Wheel would be at huge risk against this many Hippogriff Knights, but especially if you brought Warlock Engineer with Howling Warp Gale to try and control those aerial units. You know, you could bring the missiles to shoot them out of the sky that way. There's a few different things you can do in that way to try and control those flying units from just dictating their own battle, right? Because ultimately, Skaven versus Flyers, since you can't go up in the air, your only real recourse is to Howling Warp Gale to try and freeze them and then, you know, shoot them out of the sky, right? So Fun stuff regardless. Well played to Dutch Skink. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching that one. If you do like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button so every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thank you once again for watching, and we'll see you next time.